Nothing like a reverse light to make you look like you're in an episode of Cops. I was just gonna say that we got some work to do here with a couple marker lights out, and the main stuff works except for that turn signal, so good news. Yep. What you gonna do? On our last long trip with Dreamboat, it was pretty clear that the headlights were not adjusted very well, and right now we're just kind of staring straight at the garage door so we can kind of see what we've got. Definitely that left side is too low. Can you try the high beams now? All right, high beams are a little better. I actually wound up running on high beams a fair bit. I think the high beams are about where the lows should be. All right, highs, yep, and back down to lows. And lows, and back up to highs. Yep, that left one is definitely sagging. We wanted to check the turn signals and whatnot, so could you do left blinker? Left blinker's working. Over here, try the right. We've got nothing coming from the right blinker. We've got to deal with that. That's the one that had a bunch of water in it, so it's possible I've got to clean that up again and check to see if it's sealed. Looking around, marker lights. Lost one there. The uppers look good though. Every upper is lit. Another one down here. That's fun. Looks like we got brake lights good. Left blinker is good. Doesn't look like we have a right blinker. Reverse is nice and bright. That's good. All right. Okay, and then for markers, it looks like up top, we've got nothing going on in the middle. Nothing going on in the middle. And one missing over here. Huh, okay. Well, it is what it is. Looks like we got some work to do. I think the left or right front blinker is actually taking out the right rear. So that's definitely some bad news. But the plate marker light works, reverse works. Right blinker's on. If in the event we can get the bulb to where we can jiggle it, maybe we'll see it pop back on. I think it's loose in the socket.
Yeah, it's all slimy. I have bulb grease all over my hands, and I can't get any traction on the bulb.
Try that.
Hey, these aren't for outside. Woo! It's so slippery. It's actually dielectric grease, but we just call it bulb grease. Should push in and turn, right?
Yes, it's possible you've got to go back out and put it in 180 degrees to how you have it though.
It's not like...
It's not staying in there?
It's not staying in there. It's like loose. So we might need a new bulb socket. So the bulb is good, but it should be tensioned to make contact in there, and it's not. It's just sort of, well, now it's not going to do it because I wanted to, but anytime it vibrates there, see, and we're driving, and you know, he's kind of a rough ride, our Dreamboat, so I think we need a socket solution maybe here. Let's see what we can do. Do we have another bulb that we can try?
Hold on a second.
It will eliminate that as the problem.
Yeah.
This bulb clearly works.
Right, but it may just fit the socket different. I don't know. Hold on 1 second.
Thank you. Now it's back on. And getting hot. Ow. Hot. Not an LED, that's for sure. All right.
That one's kind of the same, isn't it?
It's the same thing. It's like loose in the socket. I'm going to give you back your brand new bulb because we don't need to damage or lose it or whatever.
I'll store that.
But I think that we have a problem with the socket.
I just took the screwdriver and I teased the two contacts that meet those forward a little bit. I don't know if it's visible in here, but see how they're a little bit loose?
I see that, but doing that isn't a long-term solution.
Yeah, it's possible the water that was in here ruined the springs that allows this to force forward and still make contact.
So we may need a new socket. We may need a whole new housing.
It's possible.
Let's look into it, I guess.
Yeah, this whole thing is one piece with the housing is press fit into it. So we bought these to replace the originals that were shot in much the same way. It's kind of a flaw with the design, maybe.
Andrew manipulated the back of the housing where the socket is press fit in and sprung the little contacts out a little further, and that has given us enough contact to actually use the blinker to test to see if the front one is going, if the back one will go. This isn't a permanent solution, but for our testing purposes right now, not too bad. Let's go check the back. When the front one is working, the back one works. So we're gonna need to solve that problem up front so that I have good turn signals. Look at this. Protecting our new tire. That's just running lights. I've got this one out, half of it. I don't love how there's like corrosion on this LED. I think we're just gonna replace it. Yeah, this one's dead. Let's get another one. I got these off the internet in bulk, and I don't know exactly where they came from. There's no adhesive or anything holding them into the socket. And these wires here are supposed to loop over, but what I've found is they don't work if I do that. Well, see, I'm not really happy with this purchase. I think I need to order different ones. Seems like the slightest vibration will misalign them and they'll stop working. The one I replaced on this side definitely did not work at all. It had corrosion and that kind of stuff, but I'm not really happy with these. I think I want to try to find something better online. So I will have to revisit this project, I'm sure, again. In the meantime, though, I really need to be road legal as we cruise around town and we test him out and we just joyride. So I think I'm going to use the ones that I have.
That looks pretty good. It passes the slap test at least.
Yeah.
That's the blinky one.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to order better ones. This one's really hot. Too fiddly for how rough Dreamboat rides. To film in this light and show that the lights work. Too fiddly. We need to order something better.
Yep.
Do you know what number these are?
Can you take a picture of the numbers on this? All right, this one's back working. Little tip if you're doing your own LED lights. Remember, the LEDs have to be the correct polarity, so don't assume a bulb is bad or whatever if it's not working. You could try flipping it around, and that may get it working for you.
We know we have to solve the situation, but at least we now know what the issue is. It's pretty hard to adjust headlights when we aren't in the dark.
Yeah, agreed. We know the highs need to go up.
Significantly.
So I'm just kind of gonna rough it out, and then the next time it's dark when we're driving around, we'll test to see if it's better.
Okay. We can't really drive right now because we have everything blown apart in there.
Yep. This light was the worst aligned of the four, so I'm gonna tighten the top to angle it backwards.
So it lifts the
beam angle up.
Yeah. That makes sense. We'll have to pull them around in the next couple of days to, or at least put a board out in front of him so we can look.
Yep.
I don't know.
At about 10 feet from the garage door, this one was barely making it on the
I know,
door.
it was on the ground,
like 10
basically.
feet out, it was on the ground. Hard to see on camera here in the daylight, but the angle of these to my eye is noticeably up on both of them. Hoping that's good enough for now. I hope the basic adjustment is done so that when the bugs are attracted to it in the dark, it's not terrible to just do a final adjustment on these. Good enough for now.